Well, things are definitely changing on my end. Um, it's been like 2 days now that have not even had the slightest urge for a cigarette. I mean, the addiction thing is there's no side effects. There's no withdrawals. That's one thing that I knew with the science, that if the science works, then when you've really gotten at the core issue of addictions, when you've really cured what's that core issue, there is no side effects when you quit the addiction. You just automatically are addicted to doing the right thing versus addicted to doing the wrong thing. It's like you've reset the programming of your mind. Um, that's one thing I could notice with this smoking addiction is it were messages that were so freaking powerful that if I quit, it was like that means I have to talk to those messages that it says go for a cigarette, go for a cigarette, go for a cigarette, go for a cigarette. Like, so if I was quitting, it would mean that I'd have to spend all my effort saying no, don't go, no, 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 no. Meanwhile, I had to survive. I had to focus on, you got to work, you got to deal with this person's issue, that person's issue. My mind was so focused on solving everybody else's bullshit that I didn't have time to be talking to that addiction saying, no, you don't need one, no, you don't need one, no, you don't need one. I mean, everybody in my life just said, just have a cigarette, you can function better. Because you can't function. You can't do anything if your brain is focused so much on saying, no, don't smoke, no, don't smoke, don't, like, it's impossible. It's impossible. So that's why it's like, as soon as I understood what is addiction, so how do you get a grip over this, I knew I would have the answers to just about everything. And found the answers to just about everything, understanding addictions, but then it was dealing with my core issues. What were my core issues? And I've said it before that it's like you got to love your life, and but then you got to sort of understand what love means. And loving your life at the same time is like when you love your life but don't do any harm to anybody else, because your life is reflected in the karma you put out in the world, and it's pretty damn hard to know what the right thing is that doesn't do harm to another person. Generally, as soon as you do something, it's going to do harm to somebody else. There's very little in our world today that you can't do that's accepted by society that isn't actually going to do some harm to somebody else. Anyways, personally for me, I've got somebody that is meditating on healing my heart, because it's like broken heart there, and it's a genetic thing. All my family members die from heart problems, and truly believe that it is like a broken heart. Heart just isn't functioning as well as it's supposed to. And I see so many people have this concept, they think they know what love is, and it's like, no, I know for a fact love doesn't hurt. And not really seeing anybody actually know what love is, except for this one person that I knew would know it, but still is in development of it. But I knew that he had the potential to really, Dave. And just because of his experiences, you could tell where he's coming from. So he's working on his meditation, but I've noticed that people that meditate without having their heart fixed are meditating on broken hearts, and meditating and creating, intentionally creating more harm in the world. So it has been really dangerous. I really don't like people praying for me, because it's like, you're praying for my death, you're praying for me to do harm. Like, they may have good intentions, but I see what's inside their heart, and they're very controlling and manipulating, and kind of don't really see what's right and wrong yet. So as you're praying for somebody else and you don't know the difference between right and wrong, you're probably praying for somebody to have more harm done to them. So that's kind of I don't really like people praying for me, because it's like, pray for yourself first. Pray for your own life to be healed before you start praying on me, because that's way too much negative energy being sent to me. So it's the same with anybody that's meditating. It works like HARP. All of our technology is exactly what human capability is all about. It's like a calculator. You know, calculators were done so that a machine would do it and not a human. A machine took human potential away, which, as long as you're going to deprive humanity of its potential, then it gets depressed. And now we're seeing global depression, because how we've designed to create our world through technology has taken away all of human potential. So, and it's eventually going to destroy us. But you can definitely see I'm really, really tired for some reason. That in the last week since this meditation started, it's almost like, oh my God, I've been getting this wave of extreme. I'm just really, 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 really tired. Last night, I go to bed 12, 1 o'clock, and I'm up fairly early in the mornings. I don't require that much sleep. Last night, it's like 8 o'clock I was in bed and slept until like 9, 10 o'clock this morning. It's like I am so exhausted. And the first thing I usually do is wake up and I have an urge for a smoke. Don't even have an urge for a smoke anymore. And I've had the typical things that would set me off. As soon as I did a video yesterday, really good friend, love ya, but my message with addictions, usually somebody that really cares about you offers their advice. And it's like, that means that if somebody's offering me their advice, they haven't really understood me yet, because it's, no, I need encouragement to listen to my advice. I know what I need. I know what the voices are inside my head. I know what it is that I need to transform. So when somebody else comes over and pushes their ideas of what you think they need, then it just gets more frustrating. It's like, oh, you didn't hear me. Just want to smoke. You know, and it's not that, obviously I will own responsibility. I didn't explain myself enough for somebody to still think that they need to offer me advice. Advice for other people is always going to be wrong. I try. I know I probably contradict myself there by offering anybody else advice, but it's try to listen to the other person's advice that you're trying to help. That's what I try to do, is I try to listen to what the answers are inside you, and then I'll tell you, because sometimes it's really hard for you to hear your own advice or see it in yourself. But that's where you need friends for, is for them to show you what it is you keep saying. For me, like this advice was talking to this addiction, which is true. That's really, really good advice. But to say that you're stronger than your addiction is not good advice as far as I'm concerned, because that addiction, that fight, that strength is me. How can I be stronger than me? I don't want to fight and be stronger than me. I want to be me. You know, I want to fall into that strength. It's really, really wild, but your addictions are something that's inside you. It's not outside of you. Nothing else is making you have that except for you. So to say you're going to be stronger than your addiction is for you to not see the biggest strength that you have. It does not make any sense. I really realize that, but it is the truth, that if you could see how powerful you are, the strength you have is shown in your reflection of how strong your addictions are. The only thing is you're addicted to the wrong things. But if you were just as addicted to something good, as powerful as you are, to something that's bad, doesn't that say how much strength you have inside you? For me to have this level of addiction that just is like, I cannot quit this smoking thing. 52 years. I started when I was like 13. I quit more times. I've been wanting to quit. I don't want it. And yet it's just something that never could just go away. So doesn't that say a hell of a lot about my strength? That if I was just addicted to something that was a lot more positive, how much more powerful could I have? I can make a cigarette show up anywhere. I don't have to have any money, and a cigarette would, poof, show up. So if I had that level of strength and just focused it on something better, doesn't that say how powerful of a person I am from inside? I don't want to get rid of that addiction. I just want to transform that addiction into the solution, not the problem. So I'm like, if anybody's got addiction problems, it's like you are one powerful people and you are experiencing everything that's wrong. It is a pain thing. You are just relieving the pain of something that you know is wrong. But as soon as you jump into what you see is right and you deal with it with that level of focus, imagine how powerful this world can shift just instantly if we just understood what our addictions were. So anyways, trying to make a long story shorter. Really, really tired. So obviously I need the rest. So I'm getting the rest. You think that I would have more than enough rest time, but anyway, something's going on that my body's really, really shutting down and slowing down. I find that I'm breathing even deeper and even slower, and so that's helping big, big, big time. I've been really kind of freaking out about rent. It's what's the date today? My glasses are, I think it's the 4th. I can't see the calendar. It's too small and I haven't got my glasses right near me, but yeah, it's the 4th. So rent isn't paid yet. I paid my rent, but that's because it's auto deposited. It's like paid more than a week in advance. But my daughter pays cash. She's not into checks. I hate checks. It's like getting, you know, an implant implanted in you, or, you know, I really have issues with banking and checks and all that bullshit. I got cash. I want to see you got the cash in your hand. I want to know that you got it. I don't want to stress over it. So, but it's like the 4th, and we've been trying to get in touch with the landlord over and over and over again, trying to pay this friggin' rent, and she hasn't been there. And so, and I'm like, okay, can't control my daughter to pay her rent, can't control the landlord to receive it. Can you see how like, you really need other people to make other things work, because you could be the only one, you know, focused in paying things or making sure things are done, but if everybody else that's, you know, part of the game isn't doing their part, you can't control them. And that's the worst possible thing you can do, is control other people into doing what's right. So I've been kind of stressed over that. Because of my daughter's schedule, she's so freaking busy. It's really hard for her to meet up with this landlord, and I'm here all the time. So I've been trying to pay the rent, her rent. So today, anyways, I went down there and our lease is up, and apparently her part of the rent was free. Half the rent is free this month. So there's extra money this month. So this quitting smoking is poof. A lot of things are showing up, supporting change. I'm still trying to work on these mold things that aren't really coming out too well. I'm wondering if that's even the right thing for me to be focused on or not. I don't know, but it's been helping me just because I've been playing with them myself and breathing. I've been making a stone on just breathe, and now I'm breathing so deep and so slow it's making me exhausted, and I'm getting so much rest, and my cells are getting so much more oxygen. And so now I'm trying to figure out how to make a mold for these bottles, because I'd really like to make my own bottles and maybe try and sell that. I know at the end of the day, I just need to be selling a different story, selling a different plan, and then things will fall into place. So, and that's kind of like if we all did that, we all start selling something a little better, then we could see a global change. So there you go. There you have it. Still not smoking. Really exhausted, but everything is good. Peace out.